Hello, 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 everybody. Hope you had a great Sunday. Hope you had a great week. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. This is a thing I'm calling F&F Random Encounters, mostly because it's a bit random. It's just going to be me hanging out for a little bit. I'm going to give you updates on what's going on with Flintlock and Fog and all that good jazz, and maybe do some other cool stuff later on. I'll get into that in a minute. But before I get started, I want to go and let you know. Go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, whatever you're watching this on. So we are streaming now. Let me give you a caveat. Haven't live streamed over on the Flintlocks in a hot minute, so hopefully we're live streaming on YouTube, which that one I'm pretty confident on. Twitch, which I'm not sure about, but I'm assuming. Facebook, which is always sketchy. No idea if we're on Facebook. That's why I don't even put it in the logo. And then Instagram. And then I think there's one more. Is there one more? No, I think I said them all. Yeah. Oh, TikTok. Oh, TikTok. How did I forget about TikTok? Yeah, I think we're live streaming over on TikTok. So if you are, the chat is open, and it's a just so you know, and wherever you're watching this on, the chat's open and it's a collaborative chat. So I see them from all of them except for, I think, TikTok. So go ahead and Twitch is working. Perfect. That's exactly. Captain Guns hopped in on Twitch. He said Twitch is working. That's exactly what I need everyone to do, is go ahead and pop in the chat and let me know. Of course, it just started, so there's not really a lot of people here, but Wild Guns is here. Thank you, Wild Guns. And so if you're in the chat, if you're watching this, and this is the other thing, if you missed part of this and you're just catching part of it, it'll be uploaded to all the Apple, Spotify, all that good stuff tomorrow. So if you're like, I missed it and I wanted to hang out and hear about all the cool stuff happening, you can go over to Apple and then subscribe there and do all that stuff there. A lot of cool stuff there. Let's get started. So here's the cool intro for Random Encounters. This is what we're going to use. I wanted to show this just so you can kind of get a feel. This is what I'm doing. Now that is live Eastern time, and the best part about starting it this Sunday is the time change. So not only was I should have put Eastern Standard Time in that little GIF thing. And then I was like, I'm going to pick where we do the time change. So everybody's schedule's messed up, mine included. It's also been a very long day on my end, and it's only going to get longer because I got a ton of work to do. This week I have a ton of work, and I'll tell you a little bit about it why. But before I do that, I want to go and give you an update on the Kickstarter. It is live now. Not live. You can't go there and sign up to sign up for one of the tiers right now, but the pre-launch page is live. Now, one of the things, Flintlock and Fog is the most transparent administration out there, so I'm going to give you a heads up. One of the things about I did the build up for the pre-launch, probably more than I should have, but it was all AI videos, so it wasn't like I put a ton of work into it, but I kept leading up to like something big's happening, and lo and behold, it's just a pre-launch page. But that is big. That is a big thing. I don't care who you are. I enjoyed it, building that up. Matter of fact, that last one I did with the Dracula was actually pretty stellar. I don't care who you are. That one was pretty good. And so I was excited about that. But yeah, so you can't go there and actually sign for the tiers, but you can go to Kickstarter.com. And if you're like, what is Kickstarter? It's basically just a place where people are doing projects. They can go there. It's like GoFundMe for projects. So you can go there and sign up. The cool thing about Kickstarter is if you give to it before the project comes out, you get a lot of other perks. And I'm going to go through a few of those tonight. Kind of give you a heads up about what the tiers are going to look like when they come out. But right now, it's just a pre-launch page, tells you about it, and a little bit about the cover. I'm going to show you the cover, the pre-launch page banner. It's also a little GIF I put out, or a little video. I keep saying GIF. They're not GIFs. A little video I put out on social medias, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about the Kickstarter and what it is. And so here's what it looks like, the little banner at the top of it. Now, off to the left is the Flintlock and Fog official player's manual. This bad boy, and this is something I'm going to have to really be explicit over the next month before it launches, what this is, because I've done a ton of research, and I know this can be confusing because I had some people ask, like, well, what system does it use? And that's the thing. It uses Flintlock system. It's a whole new system. Now it's very similar to the one, so it's not like way out there. It's very similar, but there are some major changes to it, to the system to make it function in this world a little bit better. And that right there, that cover is going to be very similar to what it is. I'm just going to let you know that cover, you can kind of see it, kind of not. And I haven't really put this cover out a lot because that's probably going to change. That's a sketch I did up fairly recently. And I was like, oh, this is turning out really good. And as a normal artist, this is why I'm the most transparent person you'll ever meet. And as a normal artist, when I went to ink it, I made a few mistakes, and I was like, nope, got to start all over. But time was ticking, and I had other things to get done, so I went ahead and just put that up there for now. That'll be similar to the cover, what's going to look like, but that's probably going to change before it goes active and launches. So this player's manual over here to the left, right, left of your screen. Yeah, I think it's left of your screen. That thing is going to have everything: how to play the game, how the game functions, all of how to create characters, which again is all new. The character classes, it's all, if you don't know this already, there's 6 archetypes of different archetypes of the Victorian era. It has 6 of them to choose from. This isn't, paladins and clerics, but it is somewhat reflective of those. So if you're like, I always play a rogue, well, we have a study of crime, so you can pick that kind of a character. Now, these aren't pre-made characters. That will have some of those available, but even then, they're just stats are filled in for you, so you don't have to do all the work. But they're not like you pick, John Doe, and he's the investigator, and you play as a particular character. You still get to make your own characters. These are all the little minutia details in these, and I didn't realize I needed to explain these, except for the fact that a ton of tabletop RPGs come out all the time, and they're all great, and they're all fun, and they're all different. And so when for some reason, I just overlooked that. I was like, yeah, people will get it. And then I realized that I probably should put some more clarification on. So that's a lot of what F&F Random Encounters is going to be. It's just me jabbering on about what the details are about it. So not only is this going to tell you how to play the game and all that stuff, give you all the stats, all the character creations, how to level up. It goes from level 1 to 5 for right now. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, only 5 levels? Don't give me that, because I know when you play D&D and you start off at level 1, it takes like 6 years to get to level 2. So I know the drill. 5 is plenty, but I also set up to where it'll increase more rapidly than it would in D&D, hopefully. And then after 5, it's going to get better. And so don't think it's just going to end at 5 and leave off, which brings me to my next thing. Oh, well, let's just go and finish this out. This also includes a complete compendium and index of all of the things you would need to build a game into reference items. So in this player's manual, it's not just how to play the game. It's a complete a complete dictionary of all the items that are available to put inside of a game. So if you're a DM, you're a game master, and you're like, I have a cool story I want to play my characters through. I don't know how to fill it out. Well, you can go to the back of this bad boy, and it's got everything, every weapon that are all in the back there, all the attires, sets of attires that you can do, all the substances, things to craft, the recipes for substances, books, random books you can put throughout your game that when your players read them, they gain modifications. This thing is slam packed. That's actually why the graphic looks so thick. So it's got a ton of information. It's not just like, here's a quick quest and here's a cool way to roll dice to play it. It's a dictionary. It's like a D&D manual. So it tells you how to play the game, how to create characters, how the gameplay normally goes, how your characters progress, and then a complete compendium of all the things you would need to reference. So if you're playing you're playing Flintlock and Fog Down, and you're like, hey, I want to loot this, and it's this item, and you're like, what is this item? You can actually go to the back of the player's manual. There'll be a reference for that. That thing is going to grow as the thing off to the next of it, the Study in Indigo, as these come out. So that was my next point. This isn't inside the Flintlock and Fog player's manual. There's not a quest. It's not, this is the game to play. Here's the storyline to go down. It's just the system and all the things you would need. So it's basically just a player's manual for the Flintlock and Fog system. What's coming out with this during the Kickstarter is a first one-shot campaign. Now, I'm trying to make it as small as possible because I want them to be quick. I want them to be comic book size, so they're easily accessible. You're not spending $80 for a quest that's going to take you and your friends a year and a half to finish. It's going to be quick. It's going to be short. It's going to be fulfilling. So you have a beginning and an end to it. but it's also not going to be completely done at the end. So what this is, the study of Indigo, is the first of many quests coming out, and some of them will line up. So it'll be a study of Indigo, this chapter, and then the next one coming out, and months after that will be, the next chapter to this storyline. But I'm writing them to where if you were to pick up any one of them, you could drop your character, your players in right there, and play it and still feel like it's new enough and not connected to all the others enough to where none of it makes sense. It keeps referencing things that you don't know anything about. Um, which was a bit of a problem I ran into if I decide to split them up like this. But I think if it's written well enough, it'll work perfectly fine. Kind of the way you would pick up a comic book and read it. And so that's kind of the go around for that. So this is going to be coming out with the Kickstarter. So every tier where you will sign up that gives you, either the digital or the physical or a physical signed, they're all going to come in pairs. So there is no tier where you can just sign up to purchase the Flintlock and Fog Player's Manual, but not the other one. And I'm not setting the tiers to astronomical amounts. These are, most of the work for all of this has already been done. And so it's not like a crazy project that I've got to manage. I mean, it is a crazy project, but it's not something that's, far above my reach to where it'll be a year before you ever get to see these. So I decided to put them both together. So whatever tier you sign up, if it comes with one of these, and I'll go in the tiers in a minute to kind of explain, you're going to get both. And I did that on purpose because I didn't want you to buy Flintlock and Flock Player's Manual thinking there's a storyline, and then opening up, be like, bro, this is a textbook. And so I needed something to be able to come out with it for you to play instantly. And it's a great intro. It has a lot of fun things in this. Let's go and talk about the study in Indigo real quick. You're like, that name sounds somewhat familiar. And it is because there's a famous book out there called The Study of Scarlet, and it's Sherlock Holmes. And so did I just snatch that right out? Sort of. But because Sherlock Holmes is in this particular one shot. Spoiler alert. And it's not really a spoiler, you find out right at the beginning. So I'm not letting that he's referenced in this fairly heavily. Now, I'm not going to give away what the story is behind the study of Indigo, but I will tell you it's a ton of fun. It's not above and beyond to be able to wrap your head around. You're not going in to fight like a big bad. It's easy, it's accessible, and it's a great starter campaign to kind of build up a little bit of anticipation for the ones to come out. So I didn't drop anything crazy in this first quest to where it feels like I just took my best big bads and threw them right in here. And it's fun and dark at the same time, which is a lot like Flintlock. It's which is a lot like me. I have a dark sense of humor and I like to have fun with it. So Study of Indigo has a lot to do with that. A little bit of problem solving, a little bit of puzzles, a lot of combat, but mostly social situations where you got to figure out how to do something in this. And I think if you go to the Kickstarter, which we are going to go to, let me do that real quick. And again, this is not, I tell you guys, this is not like a show. So none of this is I'm not super prepared. Let me do this share screen. I mean, I have somewhat of prep, but I'm not super prepared. If you go to the link in the description of the video, there will be a link to the Kickstarter. Let me bring this up so you can kind of see it. All right, so this is what the Kickstarter looks like on my end. So not similar to what your end looks like. And so this is the player's manual, and it goes into a description of what it is. Completely original tabletop RPG, crafted from the ground up, bringing Victorian Gothic, blah, blah, blah. Goes in a little bit of the characters, the type of characters you're going to play, and then talks about the compendium. Now, this is a close-up of the study in Indigo. Let's go and start off with this art. This art is done by Ricardo de Gasper. He's the artist I hired to be able to do the art for this, and that's coming along very nicely. Just because I wanted this comic, this thing to have some decent art in it, and I wanted it to have a good indie feel, something that feels accessible, not super comic booky, but also not super. I didn't want to feel just like every other, adventure to Dungeons and Dragons. I wanted the art to be somewhat unique, and Ricardo fits it perfectly. You can go to find his Instagram. I probably should have put that up. I'll be putting up, promos with him tagged in, so you can go and check out his artwork. But that's artwork. stellar cover, and then this kind of goes in the intro to it. So I'll tell you the intro. I'll read it out for you so you kind of get an idea what this is. It says Sherlock Holmes has vanished into Whitechapel's fog while probing strange disturbances tied to a new gang, the Indigo Hares. Dr. Watson, frantic and without leads, hires you to track him down. Your search begins at the Double Dutch, a dimly lit pub that serves as the gang's hidden stronghold. To find Sherlock, you must slip past the guards, navigate a criminal maze, and follow faint clues through the gaslit alleys. The deeper you delve, the clearer it becomes. The Indigo Hares answer to a shadowy figure whose iron will and ruthless cunning make them far more dangerous than any ordinary criminal. You'll rescue. Will you rescue the detective in time, or will the fog claim him forever? Tense investigation, perilous infiltration, and gothic dread await. That is, my friends. Let's get out of here. That is, my friends. That is the quest. And so that gives you an idea what that first one shot coming out. Now, this is again the chapter to a longer story. This is just, this is scene act one. And it's a pretty good solid begin, and it ends in this book fairly easily. Well, not easily. It ends solidly, so you feel like you got something done. And it's a ton of fun. And I have some friends over at a different YouTube channel to do playthroughs that they're going to be doing this quest and playing through it on their channel. So you'll actually, if you're hesitant on signing up, you're gonna want to, because they're gonna be playing this through, and you get to see it live action with each episode that comes out. Now, that's the Kickstarter. I'm going to go over a few of the tiers to kind of give you a heads up of what's coming down the stream, so you can kind of start to think about that now. There are 5 tiers. I think 5. I don't have any of that written down, but I'm pretty sure there's 5 I've lined out. There's an intro tier, which is just like a charity tier. It's like, I think it's $2. It's just so you can be part of it. It sets you up for in the email, so you get all the notifications. You get all the things that come out beforehand. Which in this Kickstarter I don't have, but in the next ones I will have early signups, basically, to where if you are part of this, like if you sign up for the $2 tier, you're going to get notifications before the thing launches and be able to sign up for tiers that are limited, because I do have some limited tiers where there's only like 6. And so only 6 people are going to be able to sign up for that tier. Very exclusive, with a ton of cool benefits, and a ton of cool perks, a lot of cool physical stuff I'll tell you about coming out. That's the first tier. But if you're just like, hey, I love this idea, I just want to give to it, it's very much appreciative. And then you get all the notifications that come out. The next tier up is a little bit more. It's $5. Again, it's a cup of coffee. But it's actually cool, because I wanted to give something to the little guy. If you were like, I'm not interested in playing it, but I do like, I like David. The concept's cool, and I'd love to see where it's going. You get, again, all the notifications, know when new things come out, but you also get your name in the back of the Flintlock and Flog Player's Manual edition. So there'll be pages of, here's the people who backed it. And I wanted to get those names in there. And this goes, again, for all the up tiers above that. Those names in there, so they're just solidified that these were the people there at the very beginning of when this thing goes. Because again, this isn't this Flintlock and Fog thing isn't like, it launches and then once it comes out and then we move on to the next project. It's once Flintlock comes out, this campaign comes out, months later there'll be another one and another one and another one for the foreseeable future, until someone tells me to stop. No one's going to tell me to stop. No one ever tells me to stop. No one puts David in a corner or baby in a corner, whatever. That's an old reference. Anyway, so this thing, you get to be a part of the very beginning of it. Right off the bat, your name's solidified in there for $5, and then you get all the you get all the notifications for the tiers coming up. The next tier up is I don't remember the price point, but I think it's around $20. It's the digital of both, and I know what you're thinking. Digital of both, like PDFs of both the Flintlock and Fog and Study, for $20. That's super cheap. Yes, it is very super cheap for digital copies of both. I think it is. I don't know. I haven't bought a book on Kindle in a really long time. But not only is super cheap, there's going to be some perks with that as well. There'll be a promo code. Oh, I'll get into that in a minute. There'll be some extra perks to it, not just the digital copies. And then it'll also come with a digital of the map that goes with the Study of Indigo. Actually, there's 2 maps to this quest. And it'll come with a digital download of that's high res. So you'll be able to pull that up. And then I think I'm also going to have it pulled into a VTT, which is a virtual tabletop, have that edition. So if you get to go on a roll play 20 or something like that, and you want to start running Flintlock and start running rooms online where people can sign up and pay you to DM Flintlock, which I would absolutely love. Matter of fact, I'll tell you about that in a minute. I'll have a whole thing set up for you to be able to do that because I want people to do that. Don't think I'm like, oh no, they're playing my game online. No, I want that. That's the thing that I want, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. But you'll get the digital map, and then hopefully, if I can work this right, you'll be able to have the VTT, which is just one you can upload to those online playable platforms, so you can have the map there, and it's virtual, so I think you can move pieces around it as well, if I do things correctly. If not, you also get the digital. And so if you wanted to play this at your table with your friends, just take it on over to Staples, print out your map, whatever size you want to work with. You can go small, which is like a 12 by 18, the smallest, or you can go like 18 by 24 is what the map is built for. So a decent sized map, you can print it out yourself at your leisure for your players to play at your table. That's that study. So it's the digital of both, some perks, and then the digital of the map. The next one up is like the normal one, and this one I think is around 55, 60, and it's the digital. It's everything I've already talked about in the other tiers. Name in the back, the digital of both, and then a physical copy of both. Again, you're like, dang, that's really cheap for this. It is super cheap, but I'm not trying to become a billionaire over here. I just really want people to play this game. And so I'm trying to make this accessible. Now, these prices may change the more I crunch the numbers. So don't hold me to it. So if you want to sign up, maybe sign up as soon as, well, I guess you just hit that notify me button. Maybe those prices change. I don't know. I'm just lying, guys. I've crunched the numbers. It works out pretty well. And so the physical copy of both Flintlock and Fog and the Study of Indigo, 2 physical copies coming together. And then of course, you get the digital of both of them, and then the digital map. And then on top of that, some extra perks, which I'm going to talk about the perks that are going to be assigned to the tiers. Then the next one up, now this one's a really high tier. I don't remember what the price is set, but I'm pretty sure it's well over 100. I think it's over 100. It's autographed of the Flintlock and the Study of Indigo, autographed copies, of course. And then you get, or that is the physical copy, but they're signed by me. Autographed, this is like collector's item stuff, but not just that, it's physical maps of the prints. So with this comes the physical maps for Study of Indigo. So you'll be able to take both of these. Not only will it be signed to go on your bookshelf so you can look like a boss, but like, yeah, I got that. When they first came out, my name's in the back, and it's signed by old David, the guy who created this 40 years ago. And they're collector's items, and you're going to be hawking it on eBay for 40 grand or whatever. Sky's the limit. Who knows? $40, 40 grand, same thing. You'll be able to have physical copy, and it'll come with the physical map, so you won't have to do all that pleb stuff by going to Staples and getting printed out. It'll come with all that in there, along with some extra perks on top of that. I think I might throw some physical art, some art prints in there too, because as I pointed out with the player's manual, that's all art that I'm doing all the art for the inside of that, while Ricardo's doing all the art for the Study of Indigo. That I haven't figured out how to do art for that yet, but the art for the player's manual is going to be, I'm going to have that. I might do prints of that too, so you can get stuff you can put on your wall. So it's a pretty high tier. It comes with a lot of cool stuff. Again, autographed copies of both, and then a printed out map, so you're ready to play and ready to go. And then there's going to be one more, and that one's limited. I think I have that limited to 100. So you're going to want to get in on that now. So go and hit that notify me button. Go to the Kickstarter. Go to the link in the video description. Hit that and hit that notify me button. Oh, and if you go there, and you don't have a Kickstarter account, super easy to sign up. Sign up for, and it's actually really cool. I signed up a long time ago on my personal, not the Flintlock and Fog, and backed a buddy of mine's film that ended up getting made. A buddy of mine, I say that like I know. It was just an indie film that I was really stoked about, and I got to be a part of that. My names are in the credits of that thing too, and it's just a cool way for you to support artists and people making creative stuff. It's a way to kind of help it, not just encourage them as they go along, but help fund it before as it's coming out, because a lot of this stuff costs a ton of money, and if you're and most of it's, I mean, already most of it's out of pocket, and so when you get to the producing level, it's nice to have something behind you, so you're not just throwing it out there and going broke. before you even get the thing off the ground. I'd hate to have spent a ton of money for this thing to never come out. So it's a great way to kind of sure up that there's a physical product by the time. So when you're broke, you at least have a book in your hand and you're not broke with nothing. That's kind of how that's the way I sum up Kickstarter. And it's just a great way for the community to come around and support people. So go there and sign up. I guarantee if you sign up and you're like, I'm going to sign up for Kickstarter because all these other cool projects, screw Flintlock, do that. Sign up for all the other projects. Go ahead and notify me. But if you're so kindly, hit that notify me button on Flintlock. You should support this. This is a really rad project. I promise you. And then so going on, there's going to be one more tier after the autograph sign one. And this is going to have a lot of the other stuff. It's going to be autograph signed. I think that one actually might be the one with art. But then there's going to be, it's limited. There's only 6 of these and it is pricey. And the only reason I threw that in there is because, this is for diehards. This is for people who are in it to win it. Right. And so I put a bunch of other perks, including, custom made dice, which I have in my hand, in this package. Now I'm going to give you a sneak peek of these. I don't want to do a big reveal because I'm going to end up videoing that and putting it out on the social medias, but I'm going to tell you about them before I do the big reveal. Let me give them a decent explanation because I got a whole unboxing video I'm going to put out. These are custom made dice. I'm going to zoom in. You can kind of see them, not with the light glare. Custom made dice, and in them they're made by my buddy over at Real Wanderer Dice. Inside of these is all of them are the maps of Whitechapel in the 1800s. Gold lettering, custom font on the D20 instead of the 20. There is the Flintlock and Fog. You're not going to be able to see this because of the light glare. Flintlock and Fog top hat. You can't really see that. It's a Flintlock and Fog top hat on the D20. So when you roll that crit, it's a cool little top hat. That's the logo. And then of course on the D6, this one you might be able to see. Maybe if I angle it on the D6, it's the F&F logo, like the one you see on everything else. So these are custom handmade dice. There will be, as of right now, there'll be a limited number. I'll say that. I will say a limited number. Those and the packaging of those. Let me tell you a little bit about the packaging of these two. This is just for everybody tuning in. So the way I'm hoping to do it, now this particular one won't fit, but I'm going to give you an example. This is a scientific test tube with a cool cork top, so antiqued. In there are rows of dice just like this. Now this, what I showed you, is very similar, but it's a twist top. It's packaging, and it looks cool, but it's cool packaging, but it's not exactly what I'm hoping to do. So this is going to be similar to what I'm going to do. Maybe not exactly a test tube, maybe something similar, like but antique-ish, Victorian style. And then it's inside of it's going to be a piece of paper with like a certificate of authenticity, the number, because there's a limited number, and that number won't be over 12. I can tell you that. So there'll only be 12 in existence. They'll all be numbered, signed, and made official. And the reason I'm doing it, like, why would you do all this for a dice? Is because these aren't just dice. I made these to be collectibles. Again, and you're like, well, you sure are thinking far ahead. Very far ahead. These will be something that you're going to hold on to for years, or at least I will. Maybe I'll have 6 of them. And then and then I'll just sit on them and sell them on eBay for $20 later on. But those are all be custom. I think I'm going to wax melt the top. This is just insider information behind how the sausage is made. Wax melt the top with the F&F stamp. So they're sealed. So you can break the wax seal to open them if you want, or you can leave them sealed permanently as a collector's item. Now, again, I'm maybe getting above my skis. Are they going to be collector's items in 40 years? I don't know, maybe. But I mean, you can find pennies that are 40 years old that are worth more than what they are. So guaranteed, in 40 years, those dice will be worth more than whatever the Kickstarter tier system is. That's just one of the perks. And the only reason that's on like the top is because there's only so many of them. Again, there's going to be autograph copies of both of these. And then, of course, there's going to be merch discounts. That's one of the tiers. Speaking of which is my next topic, merch. Been very quiet about merch, but I don't know if you've been sneak peeking behind my camera. Let's get rid of this. I got Boba Fett back here wearing a very cool t-shirt. It says Flintlock and Fog over here with a cool design. I'm not going to take that down. I should have prepped this beforehand. I'm not going to take that down off the wall yet, but I have a white one I probably should have grabbed. This is a limited edition design. And the only reason that is because I was testing out the company that prints these, because these are print on demand. I'm not over here making tabletop RPG games and writing and doing the art form and also screen printing in my basement. I'm not doing that. Uh, but I am designing the art for this and then having those up in the store. So if you go to, let's do this. I'll even show you where you can find this one at. This is limited edition because it's, and I'm straight up most transparent administration ever. Let's go here real quick. Limited edition. If you go to flintlockandfog.com, you can scroll down. There's a Kickstarter page. If you're not sure where to go, you can click there to go to the Kickstarter page. But up here at the top, and you can do this on your phone too, so don't worry. Over on, there's a store tab. Down there, there's maps. Those maps you can download already and start playing. There's also a merch tab now. You can click that merch tab, and that'll take you right here. Now, this is where the merch is. Now, obviously, there's only one up there. That's a limited edition. Says Flintlock, title card, men's tee. And the only reason I think that's the only one that's up there right now is a limited edition. I like the design, but I'm gonna redesign it. I don't. Well, you really can't see. Let me click on it. See if it blows up. See if you can see it a little bit better. Nice. Can I full screen that bad boy? Anyway, it's starting at $16. You can go buy your limited edition t-shirt. Now that logo's thing's going to change. I've got something similar. I'm just going to move around the font to make it fit better because it blends. It's like it blends too much into it. And so, again, this was my test run. I wanted to throw something up there. I wanted to order it before I told anybody about it to see if the quality was somewhat decent. Something I think I would put out there because I don't want people buying t-shirts when they're all iron-on and falling apart as they come in a box. And these t-shirts are fantastic, and for the price, they're super stellar. That's a great price for that. Of course, they get different. I think that's 16 for a small, the smallest you can get, of course. But it's a great price for t-shirts. This is what it's going to look like in person. Maybe one day when I do a random encounter, I'll slip that bad boy on and be wearing it instead of my Binford tools. Real men don't need instructions. That's my Tim Allen reference. For those of you that are older than 20. Yep. So merch is up in the store. There's going to be discounts for merch on that top tier. You're probably getting merch, not just a discount. You're actually getting physical merch in that top tier along with the custom. Again, it's like the toppest tier. It's a pretty penny. So it's not just something you throw. I mean, some of you probably rich out there wanting to throw money at me. More than welcome. Throw money at me. I'll take all of it. But yeah, so that's the merch. That design's going to change, and I have another design that's going up hopefully this week if I'm not too busy. That's all the tiers. Custom. Oh, one other thing I posted on my socials yesterday. Me in front of a brewery or a brew thing over at Ilium Brewery. Now, Ilium is a buddy of mine owns this brewery. I know it sounds bougie. I got friends in high places apparently. And he's brewing up Ilium, a batch called Ilium Ale. The recipe made by none other than Flintlock and Fog's Gabe, who was on the live stream. You guys can go check that out. Magnificent Seance. He's been working with Flintlock and Fog. He's in the chat hanging out, working with Flintlock and Fog behind the scenes. He's the man behind the recipe of this brew. Now, what this is, the Ilium Ale, it's the official brew for Flintlock and Fog. I went as far out with this Kickstarter and this whole campaign to make not just custom dice, but custom booze. That's how much I'm into it. Now, it's not just that. It's actually a test run because in the study, in this campaign that I pulled back up, the study of Indigo, because I love comic books so much, in it, in the middle of it, there'll be an advertisement. Back when comic books used to put like Mattel toy advertisements in them, there'll be an advertisement, but it'll be like a Victorian newspaper clipping cut out, like a page up from newspaper, and it's going to be promoting Ilium Brewery, which is down in Troy, New York, and kind of promoting them. Now, the Ilium Ale, that is the brew behind this. It's a red ale, delicious from what I hear. It's going to be coming out, and it's going to be the official brew of Flintlock and Fog. Matter of fact, on the label, not printed on the label, but somewhere on the label, it will say that. Again, it's a bit of a collector's item. The way the Olympics comes out with new Coca-Cola bottles every time, something like that. And I did that just because I wanted to promote them, and they're going to promote me. And high tides raises all ships. Plus, who doesn't want official Flintlock Fog ale that they can drink while playing Flintlock and Fog? Not only that, it gets more meta. Ask me how. David, how does it get more meta than that? And this is where I was going. I got sidetracked. In the study of indigo, there is a particular part of it where you can actually order an ale in a pub, and it's the Ilium ale. It's the ale. As a matter of fact, in the storyline, I'm not going to give away. This is a little bit of a spoiler, just for those who are watching. In the storyline, the pub has ordered special brews from the United States. They make a deal out of it because it's expensive for them to ship ale over to this pub in London because it takes place in London. And you can purchase it. Your player can purchase the beer. It's got particular cool stats. So if you buy the ale and you drink it, it gets stats enhancements. And you can do that while playing Study of Indigo. You can crack open your Ilium ale and drink it while your players drink it. You can drink it. It's super meta. Art imitates life. Life imitates art. Your player can drink the ale that you're drinking in real time. That's all this was for. I just wanted to do that. I think that's so cool. We got Captain Wild Gun says I'm so in. I don't know who would not be. Who would not be in? Anyway, I've got a ton of people looking forward to the booze part, probably more than the game. They're probably looking forward to the booze part more than the game. But those are going to be coming out, and that'll be a part of some of the tiers going down will be promo codes. Now, for legal reasons, I can't just hawk beers off the Flintlock and Fog website or in a Kickstarter. I don't think I can. So you can order the Flintlock and Fog beer from Ilium, and then you can do it at a discount code that will be built in. Now, I probably will have a smaller discount code built into just the website. So if you don't get a chance to sign up for the Kickstarter, and it ends and they still have this beer available, you want to get, I'll still be able to give you a small discount for that. That way you're at least getting some price off, but you'll be able to purchase that beer on your own. Matter of fact, you'll probably be able to, I'll even let you know that you can purchase that beer without the discount code before. If you can't wait for the Kickstarter to finish in May, because that's, I should have went over dates, but it ends in May. If you can't wait for that thing to end and you just got to get your hands on that sweet, succulent red ale, start chugging those now, you will be able to go to Ilium Brewery and buy you a 6-pack, and they will ship it. I think it gets a little complicated overseas from what I heard. But if you're in the US and you're like, man, sure want that sweet, tasty friggin' ale from the game touching my lips. So good when it touches the lips. You want to do that now and not wait to the end of the Kickstarter. You can always go to Ilium Brew and you'll be able to buy the Flintlock and Fog beer. It might just say Ilium Ale. I don't know how that whole thing works, but you can buy that one. You email me and I'll link you to it or something. I don't know. All I know is I can't sell beer out of my basement. That's I don't have the licensing. And if any vets are watching, I'm not doing that. That's just the whiskey. No, I'm joking. The moonshine. Nope. So we got beer coming along with this. This is the other thing I want to talk about because this will be next Sunday. I'm coming live again. We're going to do a random encounter next Sunday. So make sure you like and subscribe, whatever you're watching this on. This is going to be a fun one. One of the tiers in there, and I would tell you which one, but those aren't even up yet. So I'll tell you. This will be a part of the tier. Is we are partnering with Eldritch Foundry. Oh, you know what? Let me pop that up real quick. This is a partnership that I got led onto by some friends of Flintlock and Fog, and they told me about this company. I started looking into them, and then I got in touch with them. Super cool company. This is where we go. Where I was going to talk about the minis. Let's see if it's just taking a while to load for my thing. Eldritch Foundry is a custom miniaturization company. So basically what you do is you go to eldritchfoundry.com, eldritch-foundry.com. Let me pull this up so you can actually see what it looks like. Eldritch Foundry. And it's basically where you can customize and create your own minis. Now it's flashing through right now. Build minis. You can sign up for a subscription, so you can build a bunch of minis. You can download the STL file if you have a print machine, or you can order them from there. You can order color ones that come actually already colored, so you don't have to do any painting, anything like that. Basically, you create a hero. They can print it for you, or you can print it home, and they can mail it straight to you. The customization. I can hit I'm not signed in on this one yet, but I can go and hit this so you can kind of get an idea. There's a lot of companies out there. There's a big one that I'm not, shall not be named, like Voldemort. Not that they're bad or anything. It's just a big one. I'm promoting Eldridge right now, so I'm not going to name drop a different company. That'd be in poor taste. But this thing basically takes you to when it gets done. It's taking a while to load because it's so cool. And then so basically you get to go there and customize this and make your own players. They actually have pre-customized if you want to do it. It gets pretty cool. Even the cool little graphics like this D20 that spins while it's loading. And it's taking forever to loading because I'm in the middle of live streaming right now. Matter of fact, I'm probably crashing my computer. So let's go ahead and anyway, I say all of that. Let's go and get rid of that. Crash my computer in the middle of live stream. Which is going to be fun next week because this is what I'm doing next week. Next week on Sunday night, I'm going to get on here and I'm going to build characters live. So you can sit there in the chat with me and you can help, add this, add that, and we'll go through it and we're just going to play around with Eldritch, kind of show you some of this Victorian styles because what we ran into, me and the crew over here with the Victorian style with the miniatures is there's not a ton of options for the Victorian themed. And so one of the great things about Eldridge is when I talked to them, they were all gung-ho for being able to create new items and move into that and move into gaming licenses with them and teaming up with them for them to actually present items that fit Flintlock and Fog specifically. Now, I love this concept, and I'm going to tell you why. I love this concept because it's actually it actually stands on the very core of Flintlock itself. Because, and this is a little bit of a rant, but people ask me about Flintlock. They're like, what is this, just a Victorian quest for D&D or Pathfinder or something like that? I was like, no, it's a completely new, different system, which seems like a lot of work just to play a Victorian quest that you could do with D&D. I'm fully aware of that. But the thing I ran into is it just doesn't quite fit perfect. I wanted it to fit perfect enough to where you felt removed from the fantasy element and into historical fiction literature of the Victorian era. I wanted you to not walk a town that's, here's a city that kind of sounds like London, looks like London, but it's named something else, and there's magic powers and fairies, and it's kind of Victorian but kind of fantasy blended. I didn't want that. I wanted historical London, the actual place with things that are relevant like Whitechapel and Belgrava and Buckingham Palace and these famous historical places mixed in with the fiction, the literature like Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll, Sherlock, these fictional characters that we all know and love from that time period, and then some around that time period brought in for you to be able to play. So Flintlock and Fog was created from the ground up, so it felt like it was made for this. So you didn't just feel like you were plugging in something that didn't quite fit, but you may have had to make it work. So that's Flintlock and Fog at the very core of its values. And this, signing up with Eldridge Foundry, being able to them to actually work with us and be able to produce items that fit Flintlock perfectly well, which they do, to be honest. They actually have, which is what we're going to do next week. They have items that fit Victorian really well. But this actually gets us a little bit more access to be able to move towards figurines that actually fit Flintlock in a way better style instead of just kind of being like, well, it's kind of Victorian, but not really. I want everything to fit a little bit more in. So again, custom dice, custom minis, custom maps, I want things to be able to fit like you're not just scrapping it together with whatever you have and making it work. And so that's why all this was put into Flintlock and Fog. So that's what we have going on. That's next Sunday. I skipped the biggest major part, and this is where we'll get in. I'll talk about this before we close. This week, you're going to see a ton out of me, hopefully, God willing, on the social media. So you're going to want to go ahead and like and subscribe. Because while we launched the pre-launch for Kickstarter, which is just a pre-launch page now, this coming Friday at 8:30 p.m., I'm going to be going live again. But it won't just be me. It'll be me and three other creators online. Coming to do another gameplay, similar how we did the Magnificent Seven and the Magnificent Seance, those live stream playthroughs. We're going to be doing something like that, but a little bit more, we'll say March themed. And we're going to be playing that through. And when it's March has a theme. March Madness, basketball. Y'all gonna be playing basketball? No. Although that's not a terrible idea. We could just Flintlock and Fog. Going back to shoving things that don't make sense, putting them together. No, we're going to be doing a playthrough, a quick one shot with three other people And these are all people new to Flintlock and Fog. Well, not somewhat new. They haven't played on the live stream again. So I brought new people in, and that's just going to be another promo, just kind of get people to know about Kickstarter, what we're doing, but also be able to use so you can see. I can use it for the Kickstarter for people who go to the Kickstarter and be like, this is a cool idea, but what does this look like in practicality? You'll be able to point to this live stream, you know, and be able to watch it live, so you can kind of get a feel of how the game works, what it feels like when to move, to solve puzzles, to use abilities, to use weapons, in a storyline that fits the Victorian era in that historical context. So this Friday, if you're not doing anything important, which I know you're not, come over to whatever channel you're watching this video on right now. Go and hit the like and subscribe, and then we're going to be promoting that. I'm going to be promoting that all week long, and then come this Friday, going to go live, and then it's going to be a great time. I'll give you a sneak peek of some of the people, the 3 creators. I don't think they would mind, so I'm probably going to be putting them in promos. I've got one of the Jonathans from Legends of the Tabletop coming in hot. He's going to be playing. I've got Travis from over You Got to Be Critting Me, that channel. That's coming in. And then I got my buddy Liam, who is not, he's a creator, but in a totally different realm of the internet. He's in the fitness health category. But you're like, well, what does fitness and health have to do with tabletop RPGs? This guy got me into D&D back in the day, so I owe a lot of credit to him. And he's just a great friend, and he's been wanting to play Flintlock and Fog for a long time. And so I'm bringing him in, and we're going to run this campaign that's very, again, March Madness themed. Joking. March themed. I'm not going to give a little bit, but I'm sure if you put 2 brain cells together and rub them, you'll figure out what I'm talking about. And it's going to be a great time. It's a fun, quick story. Nothing crazy, nothing like in depth. I'm hoping it only lasts for about 3. I'm going to try to nail it about that 3-hour mark. That's one of the reasons why there's only 3 people and not more. But that's going to be happening this Friday, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time on whatever you're watching this on. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe. It's going to be a great time. Come and hang out. We'll have the chat open while we play. So I'll be reading your chats. You can make suggestions, be laughing, having a fun time as we play this through. So when the Kickstarter launches, if people want to see how the playthrough goes or want to see how Flintlock and Fog functions, they'll be able to turn to this video and look. Not only that, one last thing about the Kickstarter. When it goes active, you're also going to not just see the tiers, you're going to see stretch goals. Now, those stretch goals, there's a few different things in there. I don't think there's that many. But one of them is this quest that we're going to be playing Friday. It's a quick one-shot. And what I'm going to do is I already have an artist making the art cover for it. It's gonna be considered what I'm considering a Flintlock and Fog side quest. So pulling this back up, where you have the player's main, and the Study of Indigo is a one-shot quest. This is part of the a main campaign, like it's part of something bigger. It's a little bit more in depth. It leads to other things. The one that I have coming Friday is going to be condensed, a bit of more of what a true one shot would be. And it's going to be a lot quicker, a lot easier. I'm going to put that together in a digital form as a stretch goal. So if we hit, if we get enough given to it, I'm going to end up putting that on all of the tiers from the digital and up. So if, tell all your friends, get them to sign up, get them to go and buy this on the Kickstarter, because if we hit these goals, and they're not like crazy goals, I'm not like $80,000, nothing like that. But we hit that stretch goal, I'll be throwing this digital version of this other one shot. So if you purchase this, we hit the stretch goal, you can take it, sit down with your friends, play the Study of Indigo, and then turn right back around next week or whatever the week after that, and then play this next quest that's going to be coming out too. And if you're like, well, I don't even know, how do I know what it's going to look like? You'll actually be able to go watch people play it this Friday at 8:30 Eastern PM on this channel, whatever you're watching this live. So there it is, guys. That's it for the random encounter. I think I went over everything. Yep. If you want to go, one last tidbit, and I'm probably going to have to post a video about this. Oh my God, I've got so many stupid videos to make this week. I'm never sleeping again. I'm going to be, if I look tired now, wait to come Friday. I'm going to be in rough shape because I don't think I'm ever going to go to sleep again. This guy right here, I'm going to pull him down almost in an honorary fashion. This guy right here, this is the Flintlock and Fog player's manual, limited edition beta test version. You see right here underneath it. This bad boy, which is, well, you can't see it. It looks like blank. Oh, okay, that was blank. This bad boy is available right now in Amazon, or you can go to flintlockandfog.com and you can purchase them. Now, it is very, very antiquated. This is made before, and I published it before we did beta testing, so I had something to jump off of, something for people to reference, and something for people to use if they wanted to start to get familiar with the game. This guy was legit limited edition. This is the last week. It'll be on Amazon. It'll be on. I'm leaving it up for one more week, and you're like, "Well, David, why? You got the player's manual with a complete compendium and all that stuff." Which this has a lot too. This, you can't see that, but there's charts and graphs of all the items. This is like a smaller condensed version. It's antiquated. And what I mean by antiquated is a lot of things have changed. A lot of things have changed since putting this out. This was the groundwork for where it started, and then we beta tested, and so many things changed since then that the new one coming out is going to be a lot different. But it is a limited edition, so similar to the dice are going to be collector's items. I have a few of these that I might throw autographed in with one of the higher tiers because I only have like a few of them left. But if you wanted to, you're like, I love being a part of something from the ground up, and you want to purchase this now. You have this week to purchase it, and then after this week, it won't be available. And again, you're like, well, is it just a collector's item? No, I'm going to use this version, the limited edition version, later, most likely later this year in a few months. I'm going to use that as a bit of a golden ticket, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I'm going to use that as in, if you bought this and you can, verify that you bought it, later on down the line, for another, whatever campaign, whatever perk I'm doing, I'm going to make sure you get something more than just having an old book that's useless anymore. And the reason I say, if you're like, I'm not going to go buy a book and then sign up for Kickstarter to buy a different book for a book that I can't use. I'm saying if you have this already, hold on to it. Coming down the line, I'm sure it'll be used. I'm not sure. I'm going to use it like a golden ticket where you can actually be like, hey, I've got the original limited edition. And I'll be like, great, you get keys to the factory. I don't have a factory and I don't have the keys for it, and you're not getting them anyway, even if I did have a chocolate factory. But you will get something. And I do that because I love this. I love having obviously I love collectibles. I love having that feel. But I also don't want to just leave you stranded for people who did purchase this and are like, well, now he's coming out with the official and this thing's useless. It's not useless. You'll get stuff in the future for sure. And so, and if you're like, hey, I love books, my book shelf looks a little barren, sure would like it to be awesome, you can go to Amazon. You can go to flintlockandfog.com and you can purchase that, or you can go to Amazon.com and type that in. You can get a digital copy. Oh no, actually, I don't think there's a digital. I think it's only physical. You can purchase that thing right now, and I think it's cheap. It's like $15, and then that'll get you something worth more than $15 in the future. So already turn on investment. Now, don't take investment advice from me, but it's kind of like crypto, where you buy it now and you get some more money later. No, I'm joking. I don't actually know how crypto works. I just know I have it, and I never look at it because I want to be happy. So there's a little advice, not investing advice, but if you have crypto, just don't forget about it. Forget about it and check in on it in a decade. You're going to want to do the same thing with this bad boy. Same thing with these bad boys when they come out. Same thing with, I'm sure, this t-shirt, because that thing's limited edition. If you can't tell, I'm all about the limited editions, which that'll be a thing coming up in the future. So quick recap, Kickstarter pre-launch, go and hit that notify button. The link is in the description at the bottom, so you can go and hit that link, take you right to the Kickstarter. Sign if you're not a part of Kickstarter, sign up real quick, hit that notify me button. Doesn't cost anything. You can help support indie creators out there doing all kinds of fun stuff. Go to flintlockandfog.com. You can sign up for the newsletter. That's where I'm dropping all the information as the Kickstarter comes out, all the updates. You'll find out there, along with the Kickstarter. Merch is going to be coming out probably, I said this week, I'm probably not going to get to this week because I have a live stream to plan for. That's going to be this Friday. So that's going to be there, along with might not be the end of this week, maybe the next week. Our Flintlock and Fog official ale coming out of Alien Brewery. We also have though I'm gonna be doing a live stream next Sunday, so make sure to tune in. We're gonna be building minis if my computer doesn't crash in the process. And then I mean, throughout this, I'm gonna be dropping a whole bunch of stuff. I got crap. Guys, I don't know if you know this. I've got stuff going on all over the place, all around Flintlock. I got a great little team behind me, and I've got a ton of hats that I'm wearing. So I've got videos to create and things to make and people to email and get things lined up. So it's a ton of fun over here, and you're not going to miss it. And plus, I'm the most transparent creator out there, apparently, because I'll just talk about when things don't work right, or just tell you things that I'm planning for the future that might not come through. But as of right now, you can go buy merch. You can go buy this player's manual. You can go download maps to play Flintlock and Fog if you want from the website. But most important, all you can hit like and subscribe and go to Kickstarter, sign up, and hit that notify me button. Thanks for hanging out for this edition of F&F Random Encounters. I'm going to be doing this a lot, and it'll probably be like I did today, where I just threw up a quick graphic, a quick video 2 hours before I went live because it wasn't well planned. I'll be doing this maybe every Sunday, or maybe I'll just do it throughout the week and all that good stuff. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. I'm going to have to say goodbye because I've got a stupid amount of work to do and get started on that now. But I want to give you an update. I'll be doing these throughout the next 2 months. So all the way up through April, when the Kickstarter officially launches, all the way through May to where it ends. And so you can hop on this ride with me, and it'll be a good time. And all that stuff. So anyway, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you back here Friday, 8:30 p.m. Live stream playthrough, rolling dice, taking names, chewing gum, taking names. I'm all out of dice gum, whatever that is. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys.